Hi and welcome back. In today's video, we are talking about a supplement I have recently incorporated into my supplement routine called Creatine Monohydrate. Now, you may have heard of creatine, and if so, have probably solely associated it with a supplement used for bodybuilding. And while creatine has shown to be quite beneficial to help with muscle building, it has many more benefits. In fact, after watching this video, you may just consider adding creatine to your supplement routine as well. Now, first things first, I'm not a doctor. So if you are considering taking creatine after watching this video, please consult with your doctor first. And also please do your own research, because your doctor might not know what creatine actually is. So what is creatine? Creatine is an amino acid which is naturally occurring in meat and fish, but also in some vegan options such as nuts, seeds, and legumes. Creatine is also made in the human body, in the liver, kidneys, and pancreas. It is converted into creatine phosphate or phosphocreatine and stored in the muscles, where it is used for energy. And of course, creatine can also be consumed in supplement form, and it is actually one of the most studied supplements available on the market, with over 500 research studies demonstrating its beneficial effects and safety profile. Now, as I mentioned earlier, creatine has mostly been known as a bodybuilding supplement, and it has been shown in numerous studies to help with muscle growth and exercise performance. The International Society of Sports Nutrition claims that creatine is the most effective supplement currently available in terms of increasing high-intensity exercise capacity and lean body mass during training. Now, while most of us are not high-level athletes or bodybuilders, creatine's ability to help build lean muscle mass is something we can all benefit from, especially as we age. As we age comes the loss of many things, unfortunately, including muscle mass. Starting at around the age of 30, we begin to lose muscle mass at a rate of 3 to 8% per decade. This age-related loss of muscle mass is also known as sarcopenia. And while 3 to 8% per decade is already bad enough, the rate of decline is even higher after the age of 60. And this loss of lean muscle mass puts us at risk of injury, bad posture, osteopenia, and osteoporosis. This loss of lean muscle mass also slows down our metabolism, since muscle is metabolically active, meaning it burns more calories to stay alive than fat does. So this loss of lean muscle mass as we age is one of the reasons we tend to gain weight as we age. Taking creatine has shown to help increase lean muscle mass even in older adults, especially when combined with resistance training. In turn, this increase in lean muscle mass may allow a greater pull on bone during muscle contraction, which would increase bone strain, ultimately strengthening bones. So not only does creatine supplementation help us to build lean muscle in conjunction with resistance training, but as a result, it can help strengthen our bones, helping to prevent osteopenia and osteoporosis. Now, I have heard some people suggest that just taking creatine can help with muscle growth and in turn with bone strengthening. However, all the research I have looked at suggests that supplementation in conjunction with resistance training is the key. So we can't just sit on the couch, take some creatine, and hope for the best. Now, you might wonder, how does creatine even work? How can it help us to build lean muscle mass? Creatine helps with the production of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is our cell's most basic form of energy. And it is this production of ATP which leads to increased energy production during high-intensity exercise and leads to improved performance, strength, and muscle gain. Now, this production of ATP is not just beneficial for muscles, but also for our brain.
Compounds that have been shown in peer-reviewed research to improve neuronal and brain function is creatine. Creatine can actually be used as a fuel source in the brain.
Again, creatine supplementation increases the production of ATP. Our brain actually consumes a disproportionate amount of ATP compared to other organs, estimated to be as high as 20% of total adenosine triphosphate consumption. And in vitro, as well as in vivo studies have shown that creatine possesses neuroprotective properties, and a systematic review of randomized controlled trials looking at the effects of creatine on cognitive function found that there is evidence that short-term memory and intelligence were improved with creatine administration. On top of helping us to build lean muscle, being neuroprotective, and helping to improve cognitive function, creatine is also said to help improve mood and help with depression.
There are now at least 3 quality studies pointing to the fact that creatine supplementation doesn't just have these positive effects on physical performance, but can also be used as a way to increase mood and to improve the symptoms of major depression.
And then lastly, creatine may also be a tool to slow down skin aging. In vivo experiments demonstrated that topical creatine had a photoprotective effect on cell energy metabolism and DNA. Creatine supplementation was also observed to stimulate collagen, glycosaminoglycan, and ceramide synthesis. Now, this study we just looked at used creatine as a topical supplement. But there is some speculation that taking creatine internally, since it does provide cells with ATP, could indeed be beneficial to help with collagen synthesis and the reduction of lines and wrinkles. However, I think that one needs a bit more research. So let's look at the side effects that could possibly arise with creatine supplementation. As I mentioned earlier, creatine is one of the most studied supplements available on the market, and it has shown to be very safe. However, it is advised for people with advanced kidney disease to not supplement with creatine. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, if you are considering supplementing with creatine, please consult with your doctor first. Now, there was some speculation after a 2009 study that creatine supplementation could cause hair loss. This 2009 study showed that creatine supplementation increased DHT, or dihydrotestosterone, and too much DHT can cause male pattern baldness. However, since this 2009 study, 12 other studies have looked at the connection between creatine supplementation and hair loss and could not find any evidence that supplementation indeed raised DHT levels. And then lastly, as far as side effects, when you first start supplementing with creatine, there might be some mild stomach discomfort. For me, that went away within 1 day. Now, there are many different forms of creatine available on the market, but most research done on this amino acid shows that creatine monohydrate is the safest and most effective form of this supplement. And that is what I take. I take creatine monohydrate by DoNotAge. And I take 5 grams daily, or 1 scoop. It does say on here to take 2 scoops daily, or 10 grams. But most of the research I looked at suggests that between 3 to 5 grams per day, or 14 milligrams per pound of body weight, or 30 milligrams per kilogram of body weight is sufficient. So I take 5 grams, I put it in a bit of water, mix it up, and drink it on an empty stomach. So I hope this video was helpful. Any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I always love to hear from you. And I would love to know, do you take creatine? If so, which form? And what have you noticed? Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, bye.